You ever feel like you're doing everything right and still keep getting There's 1%, use the stop loss, trust the process. Yeah, how's that working for you? So look, in this video, I'm gonna break down why you're still losing and what actually changes that. Not with more indicators, not with another ICT video, but with brutally obvious truth no guru will say out loud. But hey, who the f are you to tell me this? Well, I've made over $2 million trading and my students over $3 million in payouts. But don't believe me, go to sctinnercircle.com, join the Discord, and DM my students yourself. We are the only ones that let you fact check the results. Now, stay till the end because what I'm about to say might save you 3 years of wasted efforts, blown accounts, and fake optimism. And don't worry, this video is definitely not a pitch for another $997 course. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's get started. You know what the worst part is about being unprofitable? It's not your fault. You're losing because you trusted all the wrong people. The main issue is most people, they just follow surface level advice, right? Like backtest more. Great. Or risk 1% per trade. But really, none of this works if your system is total garbage. Just standing in front of the charts and taking trades thinking, oh, I think it'll go up here. I think it'll go down here. I think this trend line is going to break. I think if I risk 1% here, I'll be fine. Or you know what, if I just stay disciplined, in the end, it'll work. Because if you don't have a good system, it doesn't actually mean anything. You need data to prove an edge. Crazy concept, right? And by the way, if you're backtesting incorrectly, it's literally the worst thing you could be doing because you're going to create bad habits. In other words, if what you do whenever you backtest is, oh yeah, that big move down, I would have caught that actually because we started to make like this trend line over here. And so, I would have definitely gotten in as soon as we broke that trend line. It was such an easy play. All I had to do was just, wait for the trend line break. And, look at that. Look at that, easy short. Boom, just like that. Yeah, that was an easy trade. I don't even need a stop loss. If that's you, you're not back tested. You're just stroking your ego, and it's going to do a lot of really bad things because your brain thinks, oh, I'm actually good at trading. I back tested. Meanwhile, you did nothing of the sorts. Anyways, and look guys, I followed the same bullshit, whenever I started out. I was told to be more disciplined, to not feel emotions, called me mob psycho. And let's just say it didn't work out too well because if I was backtesting incorrectly or just not backtesting at all, like I used to, well, I would gain a lot of false confidence in a system that didn't really work. I didn't actually really know anything. I didn't really know what my win rate was. I had no idea what my, realized risk to reward was per trade. I knew that maybe I was, going to enter here, set my stop loss around here and go for, let's say, 2 risk to reward. I knew roughly what I was doing and that's why it kind of worked, but I had no idea how much I was actually realizing. For example, if you close most of your position here, and then let's say the rest over here, you didn't just close out a 2 risk to reward trade. If you close 75% here, you close it at a 0.77R and then 25% or something down at 2R, which means you maybe got like a 1-to-1 risk to reward, which is why you might be unprofitable if you feel like your RR is 2, your win rate, let's say, is 40% and everything should be adding up, but it's not. And the thing is, guys, this just delays the inevitable, okay? This just delays the moment where you realize, wait a minute, everything is fucked. My execution doesn't make sense. Sure, as an example with trend lines again, because that's what I used to do quite a lot. Sure, okay, I can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 touches, there's a break, and then over here there's a bit of a little retest in this little support resistance zone. Okay, yeah, I could technically enter here, stop loss, boom, 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 up here, and then I could take my profits where the trend line started, right? 3.5 risk to reward. Okay, sure. But the problem is I didn't have any data to actually back this up. And even if I did magically backtest 50 to 100 trades with a clear checklist of what I'm looking at, all the time frames that I'm working on, screenshot everything, gather all the data, etc. You guys get the point. And then was executing on the live markets following that plan, my execution was still flawed because once again, I was just told to be disciplined. I was told to just follow the plan. Meanwhile, if we just zoom into this, little trade example, what I would have done and what most of you probably do or have done in the past, and I already know, some of you think, nah, that's not me. Trust me, right after I do this, you're going to think, oh, wait a minute, that is me. You would enter into the trade, immediately gain a lot of confidence because you start to get some profits. You're up like 1-to-1 risk to reward. You're feeling like a genius, all right? You're like, all right, we're easily going to go down to London lows. We're going to take this out. We're going to go a lot lower. Were you right in the end? Yes. Was your execution perfect? No, because then we started to come back up over here towards your entry. At that point, you said, you know what, I'll just close out half just to be safe. And then we go into more profits. And then over here at this point, you say, oh, I shouldn't have closed that out. Let me just enter again. Okay, cool. That's the entry. That's the stop loss. That's the take profit. What is that, guys? That's a 1-to-1 risk to reward. Terrible idea. Next thing you know, this thing, goes down a little bit. You're feeling good. And then as soon as you make a new low over here and we sweep it and we start to come back up, you say, ooh, stop loss break even with this trade. Oh, okay. Why? Doesn't make any sense at all. If you ask me, structurally speaking, I mean, we're just retesting a support resistance zone, as you guys can see. Boom, boom, boom. But anyways. And then next thing you know, well, you got out of half your original position. You got back in with a terrible RR and not something that's following your plan. And then the worst thing is you close it at break even. And then this whole damn thing starts to go. And the little bit that you still had left from your original position at this point was so close to letting your take profit. So close that as soon as this thing goes all the way back up here, you just rage quit and you close the whole position, right? You technically made a bit of profit on the day, maybe like a little light, I don't know, 0.4 R because you closed half your position. Really bad RRR if you ask me. Realize risk to reward, by the way. And then next thing you know, boom, this thing goes all the way down. And this is when you get super pissed. And a lot of you, this is where the worst thing happens. This is already pretty bad, but this is when the worst thing happens. And also remember, had you just followed your original plan, this would have all worked out. All right. Trader SZ on Twitter, formerly known as Twitter. On his bio, I'd imagine it's still like this. It's been like this for years. Has this bio, this little banner. Let me actually find it. There we go. Look at that. Look what I found. Plan, waiting. This is where you fuck up, and trigger. This is what happens to every single fucking trader every single fucking time. In other words, you have your plan. All right, which is what we saw right here, trend line, which, like I've said many times before, strategy doesn't actually matter. What actually matters is your execution, having data to prove it's going to work. Plan is we break the trend line, entry, stop loss, take profit. That's literally it. Waiting, that's waiting. And then trigger is whenever it triggers your take profit or stop loss. That's where everyone fucks up. And like I said, guys, this is bad. But the worst thing that happens is this phase. All right, the markets just had a really nice move. You should have made money, so you feel like the markets owe you money. Next thing you know, the markets go sideways, but you didn't know that yet. You had no idea the markets would go sideways. All you saw is, hey, we broke this massive low. We're going to go a lot lower. So next thing you know, you're going short. You're setting your stop loss here, your take profit down here, and then this thing bounces and takes you out. Then you're thinking, oh, actually, wait, this is a sweep. Let me long this. We're going to go higher. Easy play over here. We're just going to go right back up here. Stop that again. This is called revenge trading, guys. Like I said, if you're watching this and you're telling me right now, honestly, straight to my face, well, maybe not straight to my face because this is a recording, but you guys get the point, that you have never done this. Never, ever, ever. And you guys have taken more than dozens of trades in the live markets, then you're lying straight to my face. All right? Because honestly, everybody has done this. This is just human psychology. The question is, how do you fix this? Well, look, guys, you don't need to do more. You just need to stop doing dumb shit. The thing is, most people, they think they're actually following a system. Meanwhile, they're not following anything else than their own emotions. Let me go ahead and just show you a little example of what doing everything right would actually be. Back to our little example, okay? We're looking at a trend line over here. Boom. All right, let's just say this right here. We're waiting for a clean break. No clean break yet. Readjustment of the trend line. Once again, just an example. You don't have to use a trend line for this. Clean break through it, okay? If I were to use another strategy to give you an example, would be a market structure shift or a break in structure. We have a low, higher low, higher low, higher low, break below it. And now we've just created a fair value gap. So let's just go ahead and quickly draw in something so you guys can visualize it. We're going to wait for a rejection, clear rejection, the fair value gap, entering, stop loss, take profit. As an example, right? Once again, this is not based off of data or anything. This little example right here, don't just grab this little example and use it as your strategy. But this is how you would actually properly backtest. Then you do literally nothing. You just patiently wait and wait and wait, hands off. All right? You don't set stop loss break even. You don't do anything silly unless you have data to prove it, because right here, that could have taken us out stop loss break even. Meanwhile, this would have been a nice winning play. Simple. Entry, boom. You set your stop loss, you don't touch it. Take profit, you don't touch it. You leave it be. That's all you need to do. It's not that complicated, guys. All right, just do this hundreds of times. Actually grab screenshots, go over here, boom, copy a link, throw into a journal, copy an image, throw into a journal, whatever you prefer. Add in notes in terms of why you entered, what the levels were, the time frame you used, why you set your stop loss there, why you entered there, why you set your take profit there, what you were experiencing during this trade. And that's literally it. Just keep doing that over and over and over. If you notice that you're actually getting good numbers and good stats and you're able to do this in the real markets, congratulations, you have an edge. Trading isn't about being busy, guys. All right, it's about doing things properly. Less is more. In other words, if you take less trades, you spend less time in front of the screens, and in the end, maybe even you risk less, you're probably going to go a lot farther than most people. Because the main mistakes that I've seen with traders, it's that they're over risking, taking way too much risk when they're not supposed to. It's that they're taking way more trades than they're supposed to, that they are like burning themselves out by staring at the screen from the start of London session to the end of New York session. These are the three things that I just mentioned, and I'm sure some of you have probably done this before or know people that do this. Are they profitable? No. Do they seem profitable by the sheer amount of time that they're putting in? If they were to talk about everything they're doing, most people are going to think, oh wow, this guy's doing all these trades and all this time, you must be making a lot of money, because most people are engineered to think that the more effort you put in, the more you're going to get out of it. Which in some ways, yes, if you put in effort in the right places with trading, in other words, you actually put in hours where you're supposed to with proper back testing, proper journaling, and the time that you're putting in with your executions is actually done properly, you're not just fucking around, then yes, it will be useful. But let's just say 80-20 rule, you'll get 80% of the results from 20% of the work, and the 20% really is just focusing in on gathering data and executing properly and fixing your mistakes whenever you notice them, not just ignoring them. Look guys, my $15,000 weeks, they didn't come from trying harder. It came from subtracting, not adding. One big thing that I removed was having a shit ton of different indicators that I'm looking at all the time, trying to figure out what the best levels are, trying to see, would the spaceman levels be a good idea? Oh, look at that. We're getting maybe a Judas swing over here. Maybe I should use a volume profile. Maybe I should use more kill zones. Maybe I should be trading multiple sessions. Maybe I should use trend lines, ICT, and then also supply and demand. It came from removing all of that by, once again, surprise, surprise, looking at my journal, looking at my trades and seeing, if I had just used this point and this point, I would have actually found the same trade and executed even better. Oh, wait a minute, it's not just that one trade, it's all these 50 other trades that would have gotten me the same exact result, if not a better result, by doing less. In other words, over the years, what I've managed to do is just remove as much of the fluff, as much of the noise, as many of the indicators, the strategies, the trend lines, the levels, etc. as possible, so that I can trade with clarity. I can look at a couple levels and just act that easily. And the reason why this really helped is because it gave me so much more clarity, so much more control. I was no longer, in analysis paralysis. I was no longer just staring at my screen thinking, okay, well, this trade looks decent, but I don't know. This one indicator is not looking as good, and I don't know. It seems like we kind of broke the trend line, but if I redraw it like this, it doesn't look like we did. And this is other trend line that's kind of breaking out, so I don't know if I should just take the trade. Meanwhile, had I just looked at two things, I'd have been like, oh yeah, this is a very clear short, stop loss, take profit, boom, win or loss. But at the very least, it would be simpler, and I would know that my numbers would actually add up to me being profitable, as opposed to getting a loss by 1,000 cuts like I showed you guys earlier of entry, exit, a million times, moving your stop loss, changing your risk. It's really not going to get you anywhere. And also remember this, guys, I'm not necessarily special or anything. Maybe I'm a bit smarter than most, but I've seen dumbass motherfuckers make way more than me with trading. So it's not about that. It's not about anything other than just discipline, okay? You just need to put in the time, doing the right things, and this just goes for anything in life, to be honest, and you will succeed. Just remember, guys, it's not about finding a new edge, it's just about using the one you already fucking have, but properly. Most people, they already have more than enough knowledge, right? If I were to just let this thing run, right, most of you guys would be able to commentate this like your goddamn ICT, saying, oh, look at that liquidity sweep right here. Look at that break of structure. Okay, cool. Fair value gap. Okay, inversion. Yep, that's a very, very clear. Yep, okay, cool. Inverted head and shoulders. Okay, yeah, look at that. And now we're going to bounce off support. Now we're coming back up to the 0.5 fib. You guys get my point. Most of you are going to be able to commentate this and be able to give all sorts of reasons why price is doing this and this, which levels, etc., are being used, which are being flipped. And the reason for that is because you've put in the hours learning the technicals. The only issue is you don't actually have the structure to apply those technicals that you have, apply that strategy. You just need to actually take it and apply it. That's all there is to it. It's not about you learning more shit. It's not about adding another thing to your checklist or another strategy to your arsenal. It's just about you taking what you already know, simplifying it, removing all the extra shit, getting a structure, and actually applying it. That's literally it. And no, like the edge and the strategy and the structure isn't in some random YouTube video, guys, because those YouTube videos, like the ones that you'll see at the very least normally, they're not going to give you what you need. Why? Because whenever we talk about real things regarding trading, let's just say people, they don't care. All right. They would way rather see the most secret ICT strategy the banks don't want you to know, or $100 a day options trading. They want to see these videos. All right. And that shit gets clicks, and clicks mean that you click on the video, which means it's recommended to you, which is that means that's what you're seeing, as opposed to the videos that actually have the right information, because it's a lot more boring to watch a 1 hour long video that explains exactly how you structure a journal, a trading plan, gather proper data. And then after watching that long ass video and taking notes, then you have to spend another 10 hours actually applying it. Because guys, trading, it isn't fun. Who told you trading is fun? It's boring. Trading is fucking boring as hell, guys. It's so boring that you could watch candles like this playing out second by second all day for like 5 hours and not even get a trade, not even make money, or do that and lose money. And you should feel pretty much nothing. You should be like, all right, whatever, statistical loss. You add it to your journal, and whenever you look at your journal, there's 50, 100 other trades there, and all of those trades were the exact same process. You're just sitting there, waiting, clicking buy, clicking sell, waiting, journaling. That shit's boring as fuck. But that's what you guys sign up for. That's what trading is. And yes, you can make $10,000 a day, $1 million a day. You can make fucking unlimited amounts of money with this because it's a high income skill. It's even better than that. It's not like any other business. It's something that you can multiply the money that you have. The thing is, guys, it's not fun. It's not that interesting. Unless you're really into trading like I am, I do find this interesting. Most people will find it very boring when they really realize what trading actually is. So at this point, you're probably curious, okay, well, what actually gave you clarity, Seb? Like, what helped you understand all of this and be able to apply it? The SCT system was at least what helped me go from, okay, I'm kind of mediocre, to trading is boring, I'm getting really good results, and I want to fucking share this. Because the main thing, guys, is there's lots of different trading communities out there. There's tons of them, okay? There's tons of Telegram groups, Discord groups, websites, etc. And most of them are kind of trash, in my opinion. I mean, I've been part of over 100, and most of them, they have a weird community where there's people that are angry whenever other people are winning, people that are just losing all the time, that have bad habits, people that are trolling every single time, and those that win that are just not really sharing properly. And then every once in a while, there's some decent ones. But the problem is, no matter where you're at in your trading journey, a lot of these, they're not really going to give you what you properly need. They're not going to give you that real support. They're not going to help you get the confidence, the clarity. And that was a really big problem for me. Traders, they don't need more stuff, okay? You don't need another Discord group with signals and live streams every day. Traders, they just need a system that keeps them accountable and removes decision fatigue. Because holy shit, guys, you could stare at the charts all day, every day and make literally nothing or even lose money. But like I said before, if you actually have a good system, for example, what I'm about to show you is one of the strategies that we have inside of SCT, you will actually be able to make really good money. Just like that, you can get simple trades, 15-minute candle, wait for a break, whoops, you go down to the 5-minute, see a break, enter, stop loss, take profit for 2RR, 60% win rate, average of 10% per month, maximum losers in a row of 3. And just like that, you're able to make insane amounts of money. Obviously, this isn't the whole model. There's about 4 other things to look at for the win rate and everything else to look like that. But it really is that easy. And all I have to do is just wait, click, and wait. That's literally it. And just like that, I'm able to make $15,000 a week without really doing anything. And once you realize that this whole time it wasn't you that was broken, it was the bullshit that you were following, then here's what you do. If you're serious about finally turning your trading around, you can either book a call and get personal help from my team, or check out the free course and see the exact process that's helped my students stack over $3 million in payouts. Links are in the description.